So we've begun the season of Lent, and I want to talk about the wrong way to do Lent. When I was a senior in high school, this will tie in. When I was a senior in high school, I've talked about this a bunch of times before. I use this as an example commonly because it was, something that formed me and caused me to learn a lot of things as I look back on it. I did this intense diet for 12 weeks in my senior year of high school, where I wasn't like in bad shape. Definitely wasn't in bad shape at all. But I wanted to get to this serious level of conditioning, like shredded to the bone, over the course of 12 weeks, which is about 80 something days, so about twice as long as Lent. But nonetheless, a similar experience in some ways of, intense exercise, intense diet for 12 weeks, which is kind of what we're attempting to do in some ways for the season of Lent, where we are doing kind of spiritual exercises and spiritual fasting and diet in ways that's going to benefit us and improve our spiritual conditioning or our spiritual fitness or our spiritual well-being. But over the course of that 12 weeks, to get to that really low body fat level of conditioning, it requires a lot of intense exercise, but also really restricting calories. To the point it was almost like starvation mode that my body went into. But over the course of that 12 weeks, and especially towards the end, I started thinking all the time about food and about I just can't wait to eat again. And I would put together lists of what I was going to eat at the end, just constantly thinking about I can't wait until the end of this 12 weeks and I'm just going to eat whatever I want. And it's going to be so good and I can't wait to eat all that stuff again. And then once I finished the 12 weeks, that's exactly what I did. I ate like crazy. And it led me to an issue, a developed binge eating disorder where I just had a really bad relationship with food. I gained back a ton of the weight. And it was just a total rebound negatively off of that 12 weeks where I had worked so hard and essentially lost so much of what I had worked for. And I caution you if that might be your experience for Lent. Say you've given up sweets or chocolate or desserts. Those are common things to give up during Lent. The goal and the idea of Lent is not for you to consistently be thinking about chocolate or desserts or sweets I miss it so much and I can't wait until this Lent is over on Easter Sunday. I'm just going to go to town on desserts and go crazy on chocolate and sweets. That's not the point, because what we're attempting to do here in Lent is not just to restrict something so that once you come out of that 40 days, you just go right back into it, and maybe even more so. The attempt is to, in a positive way, refocus our wants, our desires, our attachments to certain things like sweets or desserts or social media or coffee or whatever it is that you have fasted from, to refocus those desires, to take those things out of our life for 40 days or so, not so that we can reintegrate them in the same exact way when we come out of Lent, but in a lesser, more moderated way so that our renewed focus and desire can be for Christ. Because when you go on a diet, I think we can all understand this, that when you go on a diet, say you go on a diet for 12 weeks, lose 20 pounds, get in great shape, the idea is not that afterwards you just gain 20 pounds right back. It's a lifestyle change. It's about changing your habits, the way you eat, the way you exercise moving forward to stay in shape and not just to rebound right back to where you were before. And it's a similar deal with Lent. The goal here is to create a lifestyle change, to create better prayer habits, to refocus our desires and our wants in the way that we spend our time and consume things so that we are consuming the good things of the Lord and spending our time in prayer and giving to others in a meaningful way, in prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, to restructure our life, a lifestyle change over this 40 days of Lent. So my caution for this season of Lent for you is that whatever you may be fasting from, and even in prayer and almsgiving in some ways, or whatever, especially the things that you've given up, don't think about them too much, and absolutely don't think about all the time. If you're finding yourself doing that, where it's like, oh, I can't wait to have that chocolate again. I can't wait to have coffee again. I can't wait to get back on social media again. Don't think about it. because that will just cause you to reintegrate it as you enter back into out of this season of Lent and maybe rebound from it in a negative way. And the goal is a lifestyle change. So what can you trade off for those things that you're fasting from and allow into your life? Positive things of time in prayer, time in authentic community, good things that fill you up and uplift you spiritually, because we're fasting from those things for a reason, or at least I hope that you picked things intentionally to fast from for a reason. So caution, don't think about them too much. Try not to put too much focus to the things that you're fasting from during this Lent, and reorient your focus to the good things of Christ in prayer, in fasting, and giving to others, and create a renewed focus in your life during this 40 days on the good things of the love of Christ.